There are four keys or key points that I would like to share with you today on this topic, on this theme of who do people say I am. The first one, it is people's perception about Jesus. The second one, it is the inner circle's understanding of who Jesus is. Then the third one, it is Christ's response to the inner circle on their understanding of who he is. Then the fourth one is that Jesus is warning them to conceal the fact that he is Christ and not to share that fact with any other individual. Now, let's quickly look at the four principles that I highlighted at the beginning. The first one, the perception that people had about Jesus. Now, Jesus is asking a question to the disciples. Who do people say the Son of Man is? Now, he is not saying, who do people say I am with the crowd? He's saying who the people say the Son of Man is. Now, you will pick up this concept of the Son of Man when you are going to Peter's response and when you also go to Jesus' response, the Son of Man. I'm going to leave it there for now. Then the crowd is saying about Jesus that he is John the Baptist. Now, the reason why they likened him to John the Baptist is that, number one, John the Baptist was a key figure in the community, and therefore they saw Jesus as a key figure. The second one is that Jesus was the forerunner. John was the forerunner for Jesus. And therefore, as a forerunner, they actually said that if he was able to represent you, if he was able to do things on your behalf, then you should be him, because you should be having same qualities. You should be having same characteristics. Then the third thing about John is that he was murdered for his belief. He was murdered for what he stood for. He was ill-treated for what he stood for. And Jesus himself was actually ill-treated by the Pharisees, scribes, and the Sadducees because of what he stood for. And therefore they could draw comparisons between Jesus and John the Baptist. And John the Baptist had what we call a powerful presence. Therefore, he was always among the people. He was always found among the people. And I think this is a challenge to people like me who are pastors, that the power of presence is very important. We don't pastor remotely. We don't do things remotely. We need to be found among our people. When there are deaths among our people, we need to be found there. When there are celebrations among our people, we need to be found there. Where there are prayer requests, where people are going through traumatic and difficult experiences, we need to be found there. Therefore, the people were saying, John the Baptist had the power of presence, and we have noted in you, Jesus, that you have the same power of presence. Now, again, John the Baptist wanted to know if you are the Messiah. Therefore, he understood the concepts of the Messiah. And if he understood the concept of the Messiah, he himself should then be the Messiah. That's how people looked at you, Jesus. That's what the disciples are saying. Now, the second person that the disciples said, people are saying you are like Jesus, is that he was then, they were saying, you are Elijah the prophet. Now, the reason why they were likening Jesus to Elijah the prophet was that Elijah performed miracles and Jesus was performing miracles. And that Elijah was expected to appear before the day of Yahweh comes. And you get that in the book of Malachi 4 verse 5. And therefore, if he was expected to reappear, therefore now he has reappeared as Jesus, as you. That's why they were saying, you are Elijah. Then others are actually saying, no. You are Jeremiah. And the reason why they were saying he is Jeremiah, it is because Jeremiah opposed the religious leaders in Jerusalem. And that's what Jesus was doing. As I've indicated here, even in the interlude of chapter 16, verses 1 to 4, you can see the same engagement Jesus had with the leaders in Jerusalem. And the second thing is that Jeremiah predicted the destruction of Jerusalem as well as the temple. And therefore Jesus did the same thing when he said, in 3 days, I'm going to destroy this temple and I will rebuild it in 3 days. And therefore, they never understood what Jesus was actually saying, because that was indicating the destruction of the earthly temple and the resurrection of the heavenly temple within the 3-day period that was indicated. And others are saying you are just a prophet. And the reason why they were saying you're just a prophet is because a prophet was someone very important in the community, and therefore they see Christ as that important individual.